Good morning, rise and shine to the morning momentum, your daily dose of a comprehensive rundown of the top stories making the headlines. We have a great show lined up for you. We have some amazing guests in studio and we'll be discussing what has been making headlines over the past week. We have the Finance Bill 2024. There is the bag of goodies that President William Ruto came back with from the US, and definitely police deployment to Haiti. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Alfonsoh. Use the hashtag The Morning Momentum at Younib MEDIA TV at Alfonsoh Albakwekwe. Now, let me take this opportunity to welcome my guests in studio. On my right, we have Mr. Tanaka or Tanaka.
Mr. Tanaka.
Mr. Tanaka. And on my left, definitely, we have George Akero. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning. How are you?
Yeah, now I want us to take a look at what has been happening around since last week. We have three things we want to delve into. Number one is the bag of goodies. And then we will also discuss police deployment to Haiti. And lastly, we'll talk about the finance bill, which will give more weight in this broadcast. So let us kick off by discussing a little bit about police deployment to Haiti. This thing was termed unconstitutional, but despite that, the first troop has already landed in Haiti, and that is following the president's directive. Is it disregard of rule of order?
If I can comment about the issues of IT, I don't think it is right to deploy the police in Haiti while we are also dealing with our own security challenges. In our own country, we are not already secured. Going to Haiti, I don't know what the president is aiming at, but what I can say, maybe the president just want to please the West. He just want to stamp his authority all over the world that he is also among the African leaders who is contributing to the challenges and the problems that the world is facing. I think that is the main reason as to why our police officers are being deployed to Haiti. And I also wonder, the security challenges in Haiti, if the United States, one of the superpower countries, cannot solve that problem, can Kenya do it?
Mm-hmm.
That is also another question that I've been asking myself.
There's one thing I was asking myself about the deployment of police in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
How far is Haiti with the United States?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not very far.
Mm-hmm.
And the big question that everybody can ask, why Kenya? Why should we deploy police in Haiti? Just as my friend has said, it's just president, we respect him so much, he's our president, but for this one now,
Mm-hmm.
we are not happy about it.
Okay.
We are not happy about it because we cannot say we can do with Haiti.
Now, these Haiti gangs have been there. I was trying to look at the history of how these gangs started to be formed in Haiti. It dates back to 1951.
Yes.
And since then, there has been state of lawlessness. And the most recent thing, I think the president was assassinated in 2021, 2022, thereabout. And they've not had a president since then, up to now. Do we really have the muscle to contain what is happening in Haiti?
We don't have that muscle. Let us be real with the government of Kenya, or with the president. Because when you look at the gangs, these guys are organized gangs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how are we sure that our policemen are going to deal with these organized gangs? Look at the time that they have been there. Was it their prime minister or was it the vice president or the prime minister who was here to discuss the issue? But unfortunately, when he was going back to Haiti, the gangs did not allow him to land in Haiti. Now, our policemen, are they safe there? No.
Mm-hmm.
They are not.
Okay.
So I don't know how the president is taking this, because we cannot say the Kenyan policemen are more trained than other policemen around all over the world. And why policemen? Why not army, Kenya Army? Do you want to say that policemen, they can handle gangs there than Kenya Army?
Well, hold that thought there. We are also coming to discuss why we need to put off fire in our neighbor's place, far away from our land, when we have fire here. But you mentioned that maybe the president is trying to please the West. Okay? Yes, so maybe if your sentiments, you go according to your sentiments of the president trying to please the West, what is he aiming to achieve by pleasing the West?
Actually, I really don't know what the president is aiming to achieve. And if I can go back to your question about the gangs in Haiti, our police officers have been dealing with the normal Gaza here. People who are just robbing members of the public around using knives and maybe fake guns. And now you are going to deal with people who have already even assassinated their president. Even going there, if you look even at the communication between now our police and the gang, and God forbid, what I see is that majority of our police officers will come back in body bags, because you are going to deal with people who are well organized, they are well equipped, they are even more trained. You see, those people, when it reach a point whereby a gang can even kill the sitting president, those are not people that you can just go and joke around with. And now, to your question about the president, actually, I really don't know why the president is insisting on deploying our police officers to Haiti. And what I can still say is that I don't know what he is trying to achieve between the two nations, now Kenya and the United States, because going to Haiti, somehow to me is like he want to please now the West, that we are partner in everything that you are fighting. If you are fighting the gangs in Haiti, we are there. We are there to help you. You remember even here in Somalia when there was that Al-Shabaab attack, the US were forefront in fighting now the terrorists. And Kenya also deployed their military there in solidarity with the policies of the United States. So I don't know what the president is aiming to achieve in deploying our police officers to Haiti, considering now that we also have the challenges of insecurity in our own country. We have so many issues that are not solved within our security sectors in the country. When you are deploying now our police officers outside, it means that now back home you are safe, and you are not yet safe. So you will ask yourself, what is he trying to achieve?
Where is the missing link back at home? Because we can't contain the bandits in the North Rift. It's been a thorn in the flesh for I don't know how many years now. Where is the missing link here?
If you compare even the strength of the Haiti gangs and the bandits in Kenya, bandits, they are not organized than the Haitians, the gangs in Haiti. Now, if we cannot contain this, and we have been with them for all these years, and then we leave our home and go to Haiti, where gangs are, and they have guns, they have everything. Now, are we going to make it really? Just as my friend has said, we are going to, our policemen are going to come back in gunny bags. We are going to receive dead bodies. President to be prepared for that. And we are going to blame him. We are going to blame him. So,
continue.
I think President should relook this. Let us revisit this. Yeah, because when you hear, even when the president was in the US, you could see the Haitians. They were demonstrating in US. They were blaming president. Why you? Why Kenya? Because I've never had any other countries. Uganda is here. We also have a proper army.
So what is the way forward about this? What is the way forward? Because the president doesn't seem to be relenting back. He said we are facing forward.
The way forward is just for the president to withdraw the police in Haiti. And about the bandits, it seems that Kenyans are forgetting so fast. Just the other day, we buried the CDF, now the person who was in charge of the military. And his death came as a result of going now to maybe reopen some schools which were closed because of now those areas were there were security challenges concerning now the bandits who are almost taking over those parts of our country. And as a result, we lost a very prominent person within the security sector. And it means that we are having unsolved security problems. And until now, we don't know actually what killed this man. Maybe the military are just giving us what we want to hear, that it was just a normal chopper accident. Maybe it was attack from the same bandits, you see. Now, that is why I will still insist that I don't know why our police officers are going to bring peace in another country, while in our own country we cannot say that we are 100% secured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, let us shift gears and now talk about the bag of goodies. Let me call them goodies that the president came with. We are not sure if this bag of goodies given to Kenya were grants or loans. It is not clear. What are you anticipating, George?
According to me, the president, first of all, let us. There was a complaint about the plane the president used.
Mm-hmm.
That the plane cost 200 million.
2.5 million.
2.5 million per hour. And then let us look at also the number of people who went there. 200 and something, 250, something like that. Mm-hmm. Now, if you compare what they are carrying home and what they have used when going to America, we must ask ourselves in between. Mm-hmm. Then when you add what we have used and what we come back with, is almost we have done nothing. Mm-hmm. Look at the number, that big number. Where were they sleeping? Where were they eating? Okay. And then here we are, that we've got the goodies. Mm. We have almost used almost half of the goodies in going and coming back, hiring the plane and whatever. So there's nothing important
on
there.
The papers this morning, George.
Yeah.
The president yesterday defended his travel to the US.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is on page 7 of the Standard. The president says it was cheaper hiring that private jet, and that it was less expensive compared to flying in the national carrier KQ.
So KQ is now expensive. So you have to hire jet from outside, is cheaper.
That is what the president says.
Then I need to rethink.
What do you think about this?
I'll comment about now the goodies that the president is talking about as a result of his trip to United States. Yes, the goodies are pleasing, and we welcome the goodies that the president is back with. And the main question is, are these goodies grants or loan? Because we have not yet been told if these are loans or they are grants. Another thing, when the United States is offering all these goodies, what are they expecting from us in return? Mm-hmm. Because we know the big brother, it is a give and take. Mm-hmm. What do they expect of us? And the third question that I also need to ask myself is about USA will be having an election, I think, next year, November.
Yeah.
What if now we have another president in place? Mm-hmm. Will he do away with now the agreement that has been reached out to from our president and now Joe Biden, or what is the time of delivery for all these goodies? Those are now the questions that now those who went to US need now to come clear and clarify that these are the goodies, they are as a form of grants or they are loans. This is the timeline of delivery, so that we don't find ourselves in a situation whereby maybe by the time these people are going to hold election, another president will come in and do away with the policies of now the former president, and that now will mean that the trip that we had from Kenya to US means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why do you think it is not clear whether these goodies are loans or grants?
The president is supposed to tell us. How many presidents? We have been having so many presidents around here. Mm-hmm. But when they come back, they explain that we've got the goodies, they are grants or they are loans. So it is upon the president to tell the Kenyans that these things, are they grants or loans? So we get prepared to pay the loans back.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think it is not clear whether they are loans or grants?
I think we still have time. After now the trip from United States, the president will have time to explain deeper whether these things are grants or whether these things are loans. And the good side of it is that it was not their loan. We had also opposition there. There. And those are now the questions that now, when they are back, we will be asking, are these things grants or are they loan? Mm-hmm. Because now, you see, president is one of the topmost politicians, and as a politician will only tell you what you want to hear. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the president just told us what you want to hear, that I have come back with all these goodies, but he has not gone into detail to explain to us whether these things are loan or they are grants. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The interesting bit about it, Kenya, between that deal that the president signed in the US, there was 203 million shillings allocated for combating corruption. And then there is another 65.5 million shillings allocated for transparency in the budget process. Do you really think we will be able to combat these corruptions? And why are we putting funds aside to combat corruption?
I think that is also another question. Why assign such amount for corruption? I think it is corruption within corruption. It's how the corruption playing. It is like you put them together, because that is another corruption. What are we going to do with that money? Mm-hmm. How are we going to control the corruption with that money? That's the major question now. Mm-hmm. That is corruption within corruption. What is transparency? Why all this money? Transparency. We've been talking about these things since time immemorial. How many corruption cases do we have in Kenya? Now, this amount is for judges or for who? And that is my question. Mm-hmm. Because you cannot say that you are assigned such amount for corruption and you expect that it is going to, who is going to use this money? In which way?
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think? Will we be able to combat corruption, really?
My thoughts about corruption, first, I don't know why there are some funds from now external forces allocated now to fight corruption in our own country. It simply means that we are not able to fight corruption with our own resources. And corruption is a disease in this country. And over the years, from this regime to another regime, the slogan even towards the election is that any president who is coming into power will tell you that I'll fight corruption, I will end corruption, but it is something that it is still there, and we are not going to win this war any soon, simply because we have weak judicial system to fight this corruption. Because I can tell you that today, if you arrest somebody and take them to court, now they have mastered judicial process. You will see them now bailing themselves out. Then they will even bribe the judges. These cases will take years and years before it comes to conclusion. And in the process, there is a way on how they can maybe do away with witnesses. You see, corruption in Kenya, I think it is something that we should look at it on another angle. What I've always said is that the reason as to why we are not able to fight corruption is the judiciary. Judiciary is the main issue. If we can be dealing with cases of corruption like now the election petition, we at least we can be somewhere, because with the election petition, you have a period of time to table your case, defend your case, and let's say, for example, in a presidential election, you are told that now this one you will take it to the Supreme Court. You have now a period of days now to prepare your defense, and also the accused also have the time to prepare themselves. Then there is a timeline on when now we are going to listen to this case and have a determination. And when there is a determination, especially at the highest court in the land, there is no any appeal. Anyway, so that is also something that should be done with corruption. Today, if you are caught participating in corruption, taken to court, now we should, let's say, for example, you have 3 months to defend yourself. Now, the court also has to prepare fully now to listen to both sides. And that period, that short period of time will mean that now the defense will have all the facts and evidence to prove that this man should be charged. And once somebody is charged with the cases of corruption, maybe we have a number of them, many people will now be fearing to take this route. But with the current system that we have, the corruption, whether we allocate billions of money in fighting corruption, that is now like we are still encouraging corruption. We are still encouraging corruption, because the same money will be also used in maybe things which are not meant to be used for.
Why would you blame the judicial system on matters corruption when there is EACC?
You see, and this thing we'll discuss it about when we will be discussing about the finance bill. We have so many bodies which are fighting corruption, and if you look at the EACC is a toothless bulldog, harmless. You see, how many successful cases that EACC have taken to court and people have been charged? Because from 2013, when we had new constitution up to now, there's so many governors that have been accused of embezzling funds, and the EACC have arrested several of them. How many of them have been prosecuted? That shows you that there is a problem from our judicial system, including the DCI, the EACC. Yes.
Well, hold that thought there. We are taking.
Just to add.
Okay.
Just to add.
Just hold that thought. We are coming back.
Okay.
We are taking a quick break, and then we are coming back. You will give us your sentiments, and then we delve directly into the Finance Bill 2024. See you on the other side of this broadcast.
Ever the best. Hallelujah.
Welcome back to the Morning Momentum. If you are just joining us, you are still rolling with the host with the most. My name is Alfonsoh. Keep the conversation going. Use the hashtag The Morning Momentum at Younib MEDIA TV at Alfonsoh Albakwekwe. Now, George, before we went on a break, you wanted to add an input on sentiments by Tanaka.
Yeah, I was saying that some years back there was a politician who says that it is our time to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And this our time to eat, that each and every president comes with these people.
Okay.
So when it is our time to eat, whether you do what, whether you eat what, there's no one who is going to complain about it. And that one is encouraging the corruption. So just like the way my friend is saying, that corruption in Kenya, it won't be easy. It's just a play, and we are with it, and we are going to live with it. No one, and I mean no one, is going to control corruption in Kenya. It's not easy.
Why are you not optimistic?
How long have we stayed with corruption?
We have fun.
Everybody comes, fund for what? For doing what? That is another corruption. I'm telling you. And nobody will give account of this.
Okay.
Yeah. Even these goodies we are talking about, nobody is going to give account of them.
Well,
because
okay, continue.
Because even the president has his friends. You know, sometimes, Alfonso, when you are my friend, I'm Tanaka, when you are my friend, there's a time I cannot appoint you that Tanaka, you've taken this. You've taken the head of the hen. I'll be just looking at you. Or you come to me and tell me, George, it has eaten. Well, we have eaten this one. So it won't be easy.
Okay.
It won't be easy.
All right. Among many other goodies that we might not delve into, we had 917 million shillings allocated for the Kenya Police, modernization of Kenya Police. That is, there was also 228 million shillings allocated for prison priority reforms. And then there was the huge 472.9 billion shillings allocated for the dual carrier expressway from Nairobi to Mombasa. Is it a good idea?
It's a good idea. But the question is, will it work out? How many goodies have we got from America or from any other places to strengthen the police? When you walk around the police stations around, you see how they look alike. They don't even have the houses to live in. They don't even have enough cars to use. We have goodies. This is not the first goodies. Uhuru had it. Kibaki had it. Moi had it. There was even a time of Mahindra. Did you heard of this vehicle called Mahindra?
Yes.
You can even run and pass Mahindra when you are running. So all this, let us hope for the best.
All right, let's delve into the Finance Bill 2024. Now, we started from this point, the general understanding. What are the primary objectives of this Finance Bill 2024, Mr. Tanaka?
It is just to raise a revenue. Now, you see, when President came into power, he told us that now we are going to live within our means. And living within our means, it simply means that we are now going to pull up our socks and to roll our sleeves and to prepare for the hard time that we are now. What we are seeing in the finance bill is that the president has increased more taxes, especially on basic commodities, so that we can now meet now the. You see, in terms of revenue collections, the money which are collected, which we used to collect, is not enough now to help the president to maybe run the government. So when we want things like development to be done, he has to go and borrow money from outside. And when he stops going there to borrow money from outside, it simply means now we are going to live within our means. And what I have always said about our constitution, we are serving one of the most expensive constitution with a lot of over-representation. So it simply means that the revenue that is being collected, it is not enough for us to run our own government. So now, if the president says that now we are going to live within our means, it simply means that we are going to witness taxes in basic commodities like I had the other day. I've not gone through that finance bill because it contains a lot of pages and I have to go bit by bit to understand. But what I know, the entire thing about finance bill is just to raise revenue, which will maybe be enough for us to run the affairs of the government at the expense of maybe poor Kenyans. You see, raising more taxes to Kenyans is like pickpocketing a naked man, because you are raising taxes for people who are already struggling with a biting economy.
All right. George,
Yeah.
how does the Finance Bill 2024 plan to impact the national budget and revenue generation?
First of all, I'll support President for this by living within our means. What the Kenyans must first of all prepared for is that anytime that a change comes, it must come with the some how do we say it must come with some energy. It must press us down. So even before we had all these revenues. So what I would also advise President is that, like basic commodities like bread that even the last person down there is eating bread. So when you put some taxes over it, you are killing everybody down here. So I support President by this, but the basic commodities, aiangalie kidogo, let him look at that. But we must be prepared for a change to live within our means.
Speaking of the basic commodities, you touched on bread.
Yeah.
What is the rationale behind introducing tax on a basic commodity like bread?
I'm trying to figure it out, but probably because bread, everybody uses bread. So let's say like bread is, as we talk now, bread is how much?
65
shillings. So if you had 5 on top of it is 70 shillings, isn't it? Now bread, because everybody is using bread, automatically there will be a good collection there.
If I can add,
yes.
if I can add on that, you see, with now raising the revenue, you only had tax on things that people are consuming daily.
Yeah.
The president cannot go and add tax on maybe salt, something that maybe we use once in a month. So he will go for the commodities that we are using almost every day.
Yeah.
So that now to meet the target, now the revenue collection target.
Yes,
and that is why he will hear people complaining about bread.
Yeah.
And also I saw a tax being introduced on motor vehicle circulation, I think so. Annually, there is a percentage that
25%.
25%, yeah.
Yes, you see, these are the taxes which are going to oppress now the hustlers.
Yeah.
Because this is a hustlers president. And on this, I don't think now that he has hustlers in mind while introducing these taxes.
Let's stay there a little bit on bread. How is this going to affect the consumers, especially those from low-income households?
It is going to affect the consumer because now, you see, there is a price increase. Today, let me tell you, if you have a family of 4 like me, with 1,000, you cannot afford to have a decent breakfast, a decent supper, and also lunch, supper, and also to take care of other needs. And you will ask yourself, how many Kenyans can afford even 1,000 or 500 every day? So it simply means every increase tax on basic commodities, it is directly affecting now the poor Kenyans.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at exercise duty on the financial transactions. Definitely, we had that now transacting using avenues like M-Pesa, there will also be taxes on that. And experts warn that we are approaching black market where people will now avoid using transactions, bank transactions or M-Pesa, and people will start preferring paper cash. How is this going to affect the economy?
It is already started, Alphonse. Now, even if you go to the pay bill, they will tell you, don't use pay bill, give me money. And automatically it's going to affect the economy. Yeah, that is a fact. Because there are so many things that we are not going now to pay via M-Pesa or via bank, like wiring and whatever. Though the cost, all these costs, when you put them together is another expense. So that is a fact. What the experts are saying is a fact. We are running there and we have already started working towards that direction. Yeah.
Mr. Tanaka, your sentiments about this?
It is true. Personally, mostly I don't use M-Pesa because of the transactions involved. If you have 100 shilling cash in your pocket and 100 shillings in your M-Pesa, it is a world of difference because withdrawing that 100, you will incur some cost. If you go to most of now business premises which used to operate under the till, the pay bill, they will tell you now, others now are now migrating from the pay bill till number now to now some, I think, buy good, yes, I think process of buy good. Yeah, they're going for a cheaper way of transaction. Now, introducing this tax, this new tax on maybe the transaction means that, for example, there is somebody, you entered in a hotel, maybe metumia like 100 shillings, then you pay through a pay bill or a till. Then now withdrawing that amount of money, you will be left there with maybe, you will withdraw around maybe 20 shillings is already gone. It's already gone. But what about now the product that you are selling? You see? And this is why now people are going to migrate from now digital transaction now to paper transaction, which I already support.
Okay.
Yes. Find a way on how to survive.
All right. What are the potential revenue gains from the 5% increase in exercise duty on financial transactions?
I haven't looked at it. I haven't gone through it so that I can understand the potential gains. Because as I was looking at the finance bill, I am at page 10.
All right.
I have not already reached there, but I really don't know what the government is aiming to achieve on increasing all this. Now, what can we call it? Punitive taxes on Kenyans. I don't know what they are aiming to achieve.
I think that's one of that, just a bit of it. I think is to live within our means. That's the major point. So we don't go for grants, we don't go for loans. I think that is what the direction. That is what the president is looking at.
Do you think it is really going to work out?
Possible. It is not going to work out because first, we are a third world country. There is a difference between there is a reason as to why some countries are referred as the G7, the G8, because those are countries which can depend on themselves without looking for help from other countries. Now we cannot depend on ourselves. You see, we cannot say that now we are able to depend on ourselves, that we cannot go and borrow loans outside. We cannot live within our means, considering now the population, now considering also, you see, in Kenya, I was going through some research that the people who are employed are about 8 million in a country whereby the population is almost 60 million. You see? Now, take a look at this. 8 million are the only people who are captured with the revenue data. That these are the people who are maybe, they are paying tax. Their tax is used now to run the entire government. And the population is almost 60 million. We are dealing with a lot of unemployed people because now the resources are so small and the population is, so we cannot live within our means.
Just on top of it, if we can control the elephant in the house, which is corruption, that it will be possible. We can collect, we can have money, we can get grants, we can get loans, we can live within our means. But now the elephant here is corruption.
What we have to accept is that we cannot fight corruption today and end it today. Corruption, introduction of this new constitution meant something, that now we will be dealing with the bottom-up corruption. And I can ask you, do you know the salary of a member of county assembly or a member of parliament or president? Somebody will tell you that salary for a member of parliament is about 1 million. How many MPs are depending on their salary alone? Few of them, because every day you'll find a member of parliament spending almost 100,000 every day. Now, where did this money come from? Obvious. It is an obvious question.
Now let's discuss a little bit about the economic impact of this finance bill. What is the expected economic impact on the new levels, especially on small, medium enterprises?
The economic impact will mean that now a lot of businesses are going to close down because you see, introducing taxes, especially on basic commodities, will mean that there are people who will not afford the basic commodities, and now the MSMEs, majority of them are the product that they're selling to Kenyans, according with now the increased tax on now the basic commodities will mean that so many businesses are going to close down, and I think that is one of the major impacts that we are going to witness as a result.
George,
yes.
How is this Finance Bill 2024 going to affect inflation?
There is effect. There is, because I suspect, or what I see, the inflation is going to be, we are going to be low. There are so many things are going to be low. We are not going to go up. We are going to be low. So for us to reach where we are supposed to reach, it will take us time.
Okay.
It will take us time.
Potential long-term economic effects of the Finance Bill 2024, from where you see it?
The long-term solution on the financial effect?
Yes.
Actually, I can't tell, because you see, every government which is coming in place, the first 2 years, they will be making unpopular decisions. But towards the end of election, now they will be coming again with now another finance bill which is favorable to the Wananchi. And now, because we have a new government in place, just like what George said about when now we have a government in place, a new government in place, there are some people who now are coming in as it is our time to hit. So even increasing all these finance bill also means that there are people who are going to go up and there are others who are going to remain at the lower pyramid. And having said that, it is because in the entire finance bill, I don't see any economic solution which is going to come out of it, because now the have-not are going to be affected most.
My director tells me we have to conclude. I think we need to have another sitting and really exhaust finance bill. There's a lot we've not talked about, but before then, there's looming tax evasion from Kenyans. You take a look at the opinions coming from Kenyans about the proposed tax measures in the Finance Bill 2024. We have a lot of looming tax evasions. How do you think the government is going to make sure that people comply in as far as paying tax is concerned?
It would be easy because people are already out. You know, the opposition now is they have started making a noise about this bill. So for wananchi to adjust with it, it would be easy with us. Just as the president said, we prepare for hard times ahead of us. Mm-hmm. So for us to adjust with it, it will take us good time.
All right.
It will take us good time.
Yeah, we are going to witness tax evasion because, for example, the other day I was at my friend Once and Spirit, and when I asked him about the licenses, that now you must have a license before you operate such a business. They will tell you, hey, these licenses are so expensive. So what we do is just to give the police handouts, so that is one way of evading tax, you see. So this we are going to witness so many Kenyans evading to running away from paying tax. They are going to look at a route which will be at least favorable to them.
All right. Yeah. Definitely, as promised, we must have another sitting and finish dissecting the finance bill. Right now, I want to give you guys an opportunity to give your parting shots as we conclude. We start with George.
I thought we could speak something about Mount Kenya, but there's no problem. Yeah. We'll talk it later. Yeah. But what I would say is that let President consider us. That is my prayer, that if you can consider us, the lowest one, he came in with the word hustlers. And when you press hustlers down so much, they are going to die there. And the next season, there will be no hustlers. So let the president look into it closer and let him listen to what we are saying outside here.
All right.
At the same time, the goodies, like the Mombasa Dualway, let us get the people who are going to work it. The contractors, let us get the serious constructors. That is my aim.
All right.
My parting shot will go directly to the president, because now he is our topmost representative. And when he came into power, this government was installed by the hustlers and poor Kenyans who stood with, President William Ruto when the political dark cloud gathered against him. He need to look at the common mwananchi. He need to be very careful when he is making his decisions, when he's doing his policies, so that he should not oppress Kenyans who are already oppressed by now the biting economy. That is all I can say.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. Thank you so much, George, for your time. Yeah. And thank you so much, Mr. Tanaka, for your time. We've had an amazing conversation from George Akero, the political analyst, and definitely Mr. Tanaka, the UDA chair representative for Njiru Ward.
UDA youth leader.
Youth leader, definitely, yeah. This has been the Morning Momentum. I have been your host, Alfonsoh. See you tomorrow. same time, same place.